Hey, and welcome to a new video of mine. Today I want to talk about my experience with EF Education First, because I've been at their school last year in Miami and I posted about it on YouTube, Instagram and TikTok, and I got so many questions. So I thought I'm gonna do a whole video explaining about EF and gonna share some really good tips with you. I'm gonna start with a short explanation and introduction of myself, because I'm Sarah, I'm 19 years old and I've graduated from high school last year, and afterwards I decided that I wanted to travel a bit, so I've been to Miami Beach with EF. EF is placed directly at the beach in Miami Beach, so it's really nice because you do only have to take about a 1-minute walk to lay down at the beach, and you can take the airport in Miami, so it's pretty easy to reach. I actually booked my trip through the EF WhatsApp chat because I ordered a catalog with a lot of information about the EF destinations, and then I chose Miami for the one I want to go to, and I've booked the main course, so I had about 25 lessons a week, and I think it's a really good amount if you are there for only a short-term travel, because as I said, I've only been there for 3 weeks, and I honestly think that it was, for me, the right amount of time, because I missed home a lot, really a lot, and I was really happy when I turned back home, but I also really enjoyed my stay. I've shared my room with 3 other girls, one Dutch girl, another Italian girl, and a French girl. We actually didn't talk a lot, and we haven't been like a good community, and there wasn't a big friendship turn up, so it's not too bad if you don't like the people in your room, because you do have the opportunity to stay all over the school and outside every time you want. If you are under 18, you do have a little curfew which says that you have to be at home or back at school after 10 p.m. and can't leave school before 6 p.m. if I'm right. And if you want to do a daily trip like going to Disney World or something, this shouldn't be a problem. But if you want to stay away overnight, you do have to get an adult coming with you. But it's okay if it's a friend or your sister or someone you travel together with, or a friend you found there. They can just easily sign up for you and then you could leave. That's no problem. All in all, EF Miami is pretty chilled. So it's not like a boarding school where you go to and have to study a lot and do not have a lot of free time. It's pretty chilled there. So you could stay the morning at the beach, have some chilled breakfast, then go to your class, or some people actually didn't go to their classes. I don't really get the point why, because at the end you have to do a graduation test and you get a certificate which shows your lessons you took. But for me it was pretty chilled. I attended all classes, so I had 3 times in the morning and twice in the afternoon a week. So in the mornings we just spent the time at the beach or at the pool, because it was already quite hot. I've been there from May to June. And in the afternoons we did some trips to Miami or been to the city. I don't know. Actually, I do have my vlogs down below, so if you want to see my trip in detail, you can look them up. Okay, now we're gonna talk about the interesting information for you or the questions you ask me. Some things I would highly recommend to pack are definitely a big towel. So if you want to go to the beach, you have to bring your own towel. You do get some shower towels, like this big ones to take a shower. I don't know if you know what I mean. I do not know if it's the correct word, but you get them from the school. But for the beach you have to bring your own. So I would highly recommend to bring one of these, and to bring many bags, or yeah, like some bags. One you could use for the lessons or for the school part, one you could use for the beach, and another one you could may use for shopping or something, because it's actually quite chill if you do not have to repack your baggage every time, if you get what I mean. I just brought some good old Jutebeutels. I can blend in some pictures because I have no idea what's the correct English word for this one. but this was pretty chilled and made it really easy for me to get organized and stay organized. I would also recommend to bring a spoon and something you could warm up some food or store your food, because some days you do have a daily bar, diary bar, daily bar, I don't know how it was called actually right now, but it was all over a sandwich bar at lunchtime, so you could pack yourself some sandwiches for the dinner time, because at EF Miami there isn't dinner available, so you either have to go out for food or have to prepare yourself with something. So it's pretty good if you can bring the sandwiches with you, but if you don't want to lay them around in your room easily on your plate, it's better if you bring something to store them in, like a small box or something. And on the hallways there are some microwaves and hot water dispensers, so if you do buy some soup noodles or something, you could actually cook them or moreover heat them up if you want to. This was what I did really often, because it saves you a lot of money, because going out for dinner at Miami Beach is hella expensive. Once we went out at a Mexican restaurant and we spent about $30 per person, and we only had a portion of nachos. So it's really expensive if you want to go out for dinner. If you want to, you can definitely do it, but I was there on a budget, so I decided to save my money on food. Once we've ordered some burgers and went to Subway, because Subway is directly next door, so it's about a 2-minute walk or something. And there's also a supermarket about 2 minutes away, so it's pretty central, the school. You do have a pool at school, you can visit all the time if you want to, because the weather in Miami is pretty good actually. But like it was in the 3 weeks I've stayed there. But I guess it's the most of the time there, so. If you want to book some weekend activities, you can do this in Miami. You do not have to do this before your trip starts. There is an activity desk or like an activity office in school directly when you enter the door, you will see it. And you can book your weekend trips over there. They will tell you all about it, all you needed information you will get there, no problem at all. All the staff is so friendly, they are so nice, so if you do have any questions, you can just ask them, and it's not too bad if your English isn't the best, they will understand you. And because there are a lot of people in school, mostly I think about 200 students, you will find someone who will talk your normal mother language, and then they may translate it for you. The activities can be paid easily by credit card, or you can buy these credit points, activity credit points, before your trip starts. You can book them through the EF app, but honestly I wouldn't recommend to do this, because then you do not know how many you really need, and to turn them back afterwards is just a bit complicated. So you can just pay the activities by card. You can book them, I guess, till 1 day before, so yeah. I personally just did the Disney World trip, and it was good, organized by EF, so a bus picked us up at about 5 AM in the morning and brought us back at about 11 PM, but it worked really nice and it still was a good experience to do this. Now I'm gonna just read through the questions. Some of you texted me through Instagram and I already answered them, but because they do come really often and they repeat themselves, I just thought I'm gonna answer them over here. And there are a lot of questions about being 17 and going to the US, and I was 18 when I've been there, but some of my classmates been only 16 or 17, and as I still know, there weren't a lot of problems. So you only have to be back at school before 10 PM and you're not allowed to leave school overnight. But if these two things are not a problem for you, I think the whole American stay shouldn't be a problem for you with EF, because I already mentioned in the beginning, EF Miami Beach is pretty chilled. It's not about just learning, it's more about learning and having fun. More about the fun part, I guess. And then the question was if there are some activities you can do without paying for them, and yeah, there are daily EF activities. For example, we've been to a museum, we've been snorkeling, we went to a botanical garden. I may plant some pictures in here, but it was pretty nice. So there's an event every evening, like a game night or ice cream, or I don't know, like there's something every day. So even if you go there alone, you can do something every day. And this just opens up the next question, and it's about finding friends and getting in touch with others. And it's pretty easy because most of the people come there alone, so everyone's there new and kind of lonely, so everyone wants to get in contact with new people and want to talk. The English is not the best for everyone, but this isn't a problem. Sometimes you will find someone who speaks your language, so that makes it easier for you, but you will not improve your English, but who cares in this moment? And as I said, there are these activities daily. You do have your classes, so you see a lot of new people all the time, and all the people are really open-minded. So yeah, I think for me it was pretty easy. I found like my best friend on the first day, and we spent the whole trip together, and yeah, it was really easy. I made up my mind before that it's gonna be complicated and maybe I'm gonna be lonely, but it wasn't. And I haven't seen anyone who was lonely, so the people there are really friendly, and I think it shouldn't be a problem for any of you. Some of you ask about the bathrooms, and actually they were pretty clean. I luckily had one with a window, but not all of them do have. But your room at all get cleaned twice a week and pretty clean, so it's not just a bad service, it's pretty good service. And through the whole week you have to keep your bathroom clean. You're gonna get new towels if you want to. So cleaning in there was pretty easy. I think it depends on the people you're sharing your room with, but if these are also clean and tidy people, it shouldn't be a problem at all. Another one asked if you do have to tell somebody if you want to leave the school for the day or something, like if you want to go out. No, you can do whatever you want to. If you're 18, if you're 17, just until 10 p.m. But if you want to go shopping, if you want to go to the beach, to the pool, wherever you want, you can just leave. There are so many students, they do not really care about every single one, so you can just mind your own business, and it's not like you're getting looked up all the time. It's pretty chilled. And some of you ask how I think about my time, like about the duration I chose. And I honestly think that 3 to 4 weeks is the perfect timing for Miami Beach and for EF at all, because I think if you stay there for longer, it gets quite boring, because the lessons are always like in the same system. You do have your workbooks and you work with them, and they will repeat every 2 weeks. Like, not the vocabulary will repeat, but the way you work just repeats. And I think it gets quite boring after 4 weeks. I wasn't bored, but I think 3 weeks is enough. Even in Miami, I think after 3 weeks you've seen the most of the things you want to see. You can go out sometimes, you can enjoy there. If you want to stay longer at EF, I would recommend to stay at EF Miami, and then you could switch up to New York and you can continue to level up with your language, but you will see some other destination. So I think this would be more interesting than staying in EF Miami for half a year. But I also think that only going there for 2 weeks is a bit short, because as I already mentioned, I had kind of a best friend there, and she only stayed for 2 weeks, and she only had this one weekend there, and the weekends are the time you really have time for you and time off, where you could like go somewhere else than the city directly. So to have 2 weekends is pretty good, so you could see a bit around and go home on a 3rd weekend. And then the last question, if there are some German people there, you could ask some questions. From the staff, there's actually no one who talks German, or I had no one who talks German, but I guess it's switching up a bit from year to year. But it wasn't a problem, because you can find someone who's German for you, and like from the other students, there will be another student who is from Germany, and if you do have a problem, you can explain it to him in German, and then he could ask some of the crew members in English if you need some help. Or they are really good and really nice people, so if you go there and have a question and your English isn't the best, don't worry. They will understand what you want from them and they will help you anyways. So my experience was pretty nice. I missed home a lot, so this was still a hard time for me, even if I enjoyed it a lot. And looking back, I'm really happy that I had the experience traveling on my own. It helped me so much grow myself. But it was a pretty nice time. And again, if you want to see what I did in my time, you can look up my videos. I'm gonna link them down there. And then I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do have still some questions, you can just ask them in the comments or use my Instagram. I'm gonna link it here again. And yes, I hope you enjoyed this video and maybe we will see us in my next. Bye!